Neil, we've talked now for 18 months and we've pressed you all sorts of different ways. I hope not to a point that it's uncomfortable, to try to understand why it doesn't appear that DOJ is investigating Donald Trump himself for his role in inciting the deadly insurrection. Is investigating Donald Trump for witness tampering as complicated? Could that take another 18 months?
No, it's a much simpler thing. And I do think that this is a really grave matter for Donald Trump. Witness tampering is a standalone crime. It's one of the more serious crimes, Nicole, in the book. It's a 20-year sentence. And the idea is you're interfering with the truth-seeking function of an official proceeding. And that alone is an evil with punished very heavily. And his defense, as you and I talked about 2 days ago, right after Representative Cheney made the allegation in the hearing, his defense was likely going to be, hey, I didn't know she was a witness. I call her to this person all the time. I talk golf. I talk how great Putin is. Who knows? But what he would have, what he could have said. But this is why the report today is so important, because it says this isn't someone that Trump regularly talked to. And that's going to blow a hole in his defense. And the statute here, the criminal law 1512, criminalizes not just intimidation of witnesses or tampering, but an attempt to do so. And so when you ask, what is justice going to do? It's actually pretty easy. You bring Trump in, as you would anyone with an allegation of witness tampering, and you ask them under oath with the Section 1001 separate federal penalty of lying to a federal officer, and you say, did you intend to make this call? What did you intend to talk about? And now look, Trump has a non-existent relationship with the truth. Of course, he would be tempted to lie. The problem is if he said to anyone else, hey, I'm calling this person, here's why I'm calling that person, and that person gave evidence, then you've got now two different crimes that Trump is staring at. So this is kind of not that difficult to investigate. On the other hand, I am kind of concerned that the Justice Department evidently looks like they never let this call go through. I would have thought an ordinary law enforcement officer practice here would be let Trump call that witness while the FBI is listening and see what is being said. I mean, if you think about all the different investigative techniques that were used with Linda Tripp and Bill Clinton and all of that, this looks like kid gloves, at least according to what we know thus far.
Well, we don't know who this is. We don't know. I don't think we know if it's a male or female. We don't know what the purpose of the call was, but we do know it's someone who is still in public service. And Chairman Thompson, unless he misspoke, said this person is a White House employee. So, Neil, I think we can rule out that it's someone he calls to talk about how much they miss Vladimir Putin with, unless it was somebody identified who is a career civil servant. I mean, this seems, I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but neither do I want to act willfully ignorant of the kind of person who would still be working in a White House 18 months after Trump left.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And, you know, there's another theory being floated around on conservative sites like Newsmax, which is Trump, butt dialed this person. I mean, it's someone he hasn't called. He wasn't intending to intimidate or something like that. I mean, who among us hasn't butt dialed someone who intended to corroborate key moments of congressional testimony against us? I mean, it's so ridiculous. And ultimately, I think, Nicole, what this shows is Donald Trump getting more desperate about the January 6th investigation. Because last week, when we learned about other witness tampering, about Cassidy Hutchinson, we learned there was a cutout that did that. One of Trump's friends called Cassidy Hutchinson and said, we know you'll do the right thing. Trump knows you'll be loyal, blah, blah, blah. This time he didn't use a cutout. He might not have a cutout anymore because as people watch these hearings, even his diehard allies may be saying, hey, I'm not doing your dirty work anymore. You got to do it yourself.